Good morning, saints, and happy Monday. The verse for today is taken from Luke chapter 14, verse 11. For all who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. So today's word comes straight from the mouth of Jesus Christ. And to add some context to his statement, we have to take a couple steps back. So Jesus, on a Sabbath day, was going to the house of a leader of the Pharisees to have a meal. But he noticed that the guests were preoccupied with sitting in the seats of honor, the area reserved for the distinguished guests. And he decided to share some advice with them. And he said to them, if you are invited to a wedding banquet, don't rush to sit in the areas designated for the guests of honor. Because if someone more distinguished than you shows up, the host will have to ask you to get up and to sit somewhere else. And that can be quite humiliating. Instead, go and sit in one of the lower areas. And if anything, the host will elevate you to one of the seats of honor. And so he said, if you are proud and you exalt yourselves, you will be humbled. But if you take on a heart posture of humility, you will be exalted. And this is such an important lesson because we live in a world where we are encouraged to glorify ourselves. We are encouraged to put ourselves before others. But Jesus is saying that we must be humble. And a lot of times, people misunderstand the meaning of humility. It does not mean to think less of yourselves, but rather to think of yourselves less. And again, this is countercultural. But we aren't followers of the world. We are followers of Jesus Christ. And throughout his life, Jesus demonstrated meekness. He was born in a lowly manger, and he was crucified on an old rugged cross. Certainly not fitting for the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And throughout his life on earth, he displayed a humble life and he followed God's will. He served God the Father and he served people. He even washed the feet of his disciples. And so we ought to have a heart of service and to desire to live just like Jesus Christ. So I want to encourage you today to go to God and ask him to help you to be more humble and to remove that desire to have status and prestige. Instead, ask him to help you to have a heart that desires to put others before yourself. I know that that is no easy task, but you can do it with the help of the Holy Spirit. And when you do desire that humility, God will exalt you. Have a blessed week, everyone. Take care.